Yeah, hi guys. I thought I'd just jump on this morning to show you my next project, which is a foray into a calcium reactor for a reef tank. I've bought some cheap reactors on eBay, namely a Deltec 509 calcium reactor and a TMC fluidized, like a sandbed filter. Both second-hand, both cheap, because everything I do is really on a budget at the moment. So, yeah, but I'm trying to demystify it really, because obviously I got it second-hand. So I just wanted to talk about it and how it's different. Namely, this is a fluidized bed reactor, which means the water is pushed up down through a pipe in the middle of the reactor and pushed back up, which actually renders it not very good for some media that's available in the UK. There's a lot of stuff out in America. They're kind of almost a bit spoilt for sort of reactors and media and stuff out there. They have like the Two Fishes Reborn and this kind of thing, which is almost is like actual sort of dead coral bodies. This is slightly different because you can't. That stuff mustn't be tumbled apparently. This, it sends the water down through a tube and then back up through the media. So what it actually does is it stops settlement and compaction at the bottom of the reactor. Because it was secondhand, I've treated it to a new set of O-rings here and here. There's one on the impeller body there, and a main one that sits around on the actual main head of the thing. And how the system works, because it's quite it seems like a black art to start with, because I've seen a lot of videos with people sort of like showing you when it's in their sump area and they're sort of following tube after tube and you can't really keep up with it. But I mean, the basics are you have a media chamber with a recirculation pump that's moving the water around and around. A secondary part of that is you have a CO2 canister with some kind of measurement for bubbles and rates that you can adjust with. This one has a needle valve and two gauges. Another one is you supply water at quite a slow rate into the reactor with the CO2, and then as it comes around as being recirculated, there's another tube here that's where they call it an effluent exits. Once it's been mixed up in there, the effluent comes through here, and the idea is that the CO2 brings the pH inside this reactor way down, sufficient to actually melt. This is aragonite in here, mixed with dolomite. I've used, again, in the UK, it's very hard to try to sort of like find the right bits and pieces that you need for this particular this reactor. This is arm coarse aragonite, which is this kind of stuff here, which is basically like a dead reef seabed, like almost like an ancient seabed that's been mineralized, and that will take care, once it's become a sufficient low pH, that will melt in the reactor, and then the effluent will give you a calcium and alkalinity. But the thing it doesn't do is the third part of that sort of trifecta is the magnesium. So this is the magnesium. This is the Neomag from Brightwell Aquatics. The aragonite stuff is from Carib Sea, and that in a certain ratio with this will bring up your magnesium, hopefully within the right ratio, so you're taking care of calcium, magnesium, and alkalinity all at the same time. Now they suggest that you add this. This is in the media. You can maybe see it mixed in here. The different you mix it by volume, not by weight, because obviously one will weigh more than the other. You mix it in. This is at a ratio of 9:1, which took a bit of working out, but I worked it out and got it in there. So that's now got that in it, and also that this secondary chamber. You don't have to do this, but people advise to the effluent to go through and back down and up through again, a secondary chamber. And I've just put the aragonite in this because I believe the dolomite, the Neomag, doesn't dissolve very well, you know, in a high pH. So what this is a degassing chamber. So it'll let the CO2 degas into here, and then the idea is you feed the output of this back into your sump area in a sort of high flow area, or into your skimmer, so the skimmer can degas it further, or if you have one, a refugium, so the cheatomorphia or the whatever media you have in the refugium will, you know, digest and uptake that CO2, so that you're not returning a sort of like a very low pH into your system. So so that's at 9 to 1. They tell you not to push it more than, I believe, about 11 to 1 or something. So I've stayed with the sort of recommendation. But the only real way to tell is to, you know, get the thing running and, you know, get it and see where your magnesium and everything, calcium, settles out. So that's the basics there. One thing I did find as well, which is quite good for one of these systems, is because I suppose this is Deltec, which is through DD Aquarium Solution in England, the importer. The connections are here and here. They supply you with like a rubber hosing, which I did buy, but I realised that these will actually fit John Guest fittings. So, and what I've done, I've put a tap on each bit to make sure that if I wanted to service it or top it back up, I can just turn off all the taps and then take the whole thing out and then replenish and then put it back without water dripping everywhere. So I'm trying to sort of future-proof myself a little bit. Whether that works or not is we'll have to wait and see. But another thing to worry about is the fact that these are all normal, you know, RO standard sort of 1/4-inch fittings. But this one up here, which is where the effluent comes out, is actually a 5/16 fitting. And then on the back of on these ones, most of these kind of reactors, they have 1/2-inch fittings, which you can see I've fitted a piece of tube on a barb to go to 1/2-inch John Guest. So what I've done is I've sort of met in the middle, and so they can handshake a 3/8 tubing. So I've got a reducing one there that goes from 3/8 to 5/16. So that's something to bear in mind, but it does you know, it does help you because these fittings go straight onto the sort of spigots that are on the outlets here. So I thought I'd make that, you know, if someone hasn't worked that out yet. So, but I thought I'd show you this out of my some sort of, you know, the bottom of the tank, because I've been doing this for certain, you know, sort of building up bits of sort of secondhand bits and pieces for it, and once it's in that area, it's all together. It's very confusing as to which bit goes where. So I thought I'd try and separate the sort of 3 bits out. But if you've got any questions, just give me a shout, and you know, and have a good day. Cheers, bye.